Welcome to the fourth episode of our F1 23 MyTeam series, and we are in the Miami Grand Prix, which is the first of our 3 home races in this game. We start off in qualifying, where we are in the last, I would say, few corners in this track, and we'll see where we will land. And we end up in P7. That's not a very comforting position for now, so we will have to run another lap, kind of using another set of new soft tires just to make sure we actually get up there. So as we head into the last corner here in the track, we cross the line, and where do we get? We get up to second, which is not bad, but we have to keep in mind that we did have to burn an extra set of soft tires, and that result kind of gave us 7/100ths of a second down from Leclerc. But mind you, that's with new set of tires. And of course, those that finished after us is a bit kind of rough right now, as you see both Haas's and Logan Sargent out in Q1. And now in Q2, we are on our first qualifying lap, and as we head into the next few corners, we cross the line. We get a good result here. We are 1/10 off of Max Verstappen after using a new set of softs as well on our first lap, which is a good result. So we don't have to run again for this qualifying session, and we end up 1/10 behind Max Verstappen, which is definitely not a bad place. But we see Lando Norris getting out-qualified by his teammate Oscar Piastri. Now that is not something you see every day. Here in Q3, we go on our first run on a scrubbed set of tires, and as we head to the last couple corners right here, and we cross the line, we are a 10th away from Verstappen, who is currently P4, which is not bad. We got ourselves to 6th and got the fastest sector 3, which is a good thing. So hopefully we can move up higher with this new set of tires as we head into the hairpin and only having to navigate the last couple of corners, heading into the finish line and improving a 4/10, which is not bad. But where do we end up? We end up in 3rd. That is definitely not a bad result, especially where I feel like we were struggling earlier in Q1. Did well in Q2. I guess we improved, but there are definitely, we're not yet there, because we have a Red Bull of Sergio Perez and the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz in front of us. So hopefully we can get a good run on them when it comes to the race. Although I'm a bit worried with how the race will go, but hey, we'll have to see.
Well, it's no secret that F1 is booming in popularity right now in the USA. Today's race, one of 3 in the United States, is a testament to that. It's time for the Miami Grand Prix. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I'm sure it's one that will please the fans. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Roberts, Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Verstappen, Bottas, Ocon, Norris, Tsunoda, Joe, Albon, Stroll, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Doohan, Sargent. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Now let's talk about Sergio Perez. They've got that grid penalty to worry about, of course, which puts them on the back foot from the get-go.
It's unfortunate, but it happens to everyone at some point. You just have to accept your fate, knuckle down and get on with the business of making up that deficit during the Grand Prix. So they'll be pushing hard today, one to watch for sure.
And the 5 lights are out. We get a somewhat of a decent start, but Perez goes a bit. All of us had a decent start, but Sainz just sneaks into the inside line while Perez went wide, and Sainz is kind of challenging Perez for that position, but Perez seems to have a better exit, and we were caught sleeping on that, and Hamilton sends it on the inside, and you could see how we're struggling a bit on this track. It's a home race, you know, and we kind of have this expectation that we should be doing better, you know, maybe hopefully get a podium, and especially coming off a win in Jeddah in Australia. Like, I feel like this is the race where we kind of landed back to earth after the 2 race wins, because the car doesn't feel good in Miami at all. Like, this is a bit of a rude awakening, you know, waking up from a very nice dream. This is what it feels like right now, because we lost 3rd to Hamilton, and we're not even catching up with Hamilton. We're just like, I feel like we're just keeping up with Hamilton is what I would say. I would say if we were in front of Hamilton, would we be any faster? No, I don't think so. I feel like the slipstream of being behind Hamilton helps us be faster, but I feel like the car just generally struggles when it comes to medium speed corners, because you have like the long right-hander in turn 1. That one was really slow, and then you have like the S's before I would say that's the double left-hander as well, before near the end of section 1. So those are like the places where we actually really struggle, and especially with the long right-hander in sector 1, like I can't really be on the gas early. Like, I kind of have to, like, in Tagalog we say make timpla on the gas. I don't know how to, like, I guess in English it would be like pressing on the gas, like finding the right gas pressure to actually go through that corner fast and without losing the rears. So that's why for me it's been a bit rough. As we go down the order, we see Verstappen kind of having another rough day in the office. Here in Miami, we saw him struggle in Jeddah. I remember, yeah, it was Jeddah where he struggled, and then kind of got into form back in Austria, you know, getting a podium position. As we keep on following these two, Hamilton seemingly start to fall back a bit, as you know, he's, even with the DRS, he can't seem to close the gap as much to Leclerc. But I feel like this S section is where I feel like Hamilton seems to do well in, but I guess that this upgraded Ferrari is just doing numbers. I feel like Ferrari got the upgrades right, but we just have, I feel like the only difference is that the reason why we're able to increase the gap a bit is on the straights. It's on like the medium speed corners is where we're kind of struggling. And kind of see here, as we kind of go down, you see a 3-car fight between Bottas, Ocon, and Verstappen. Ocon able to get through Bottas on that straight Now we're heading into the back straight where we see Ocon and Bottas, and you could even add Pierre Gasly on that list of cars. So we went from a two-car battle, a three-car battle when Verstappen joined, and now a four-car. Since Gasly is within DRS, Ocon moves to the inside line, holds the inside line apex. Will he be able to get past Bottas? No, he doesn't. Bottas takes regains his place and gets DRS, finishes off the job heading into turn 1, while Verstappen is still stuck between Bottas and Ocon fighting for 8th. But as they keep on squabbling, they keep falling and falling behind, and I feel like if they keep fighting if they keep driving and fighting hard like this, they're eventually gonna slow down enough where maybe even Piastri could catch up to them. So we'll see what will happen as we head to this DRS zone. We see Ocon, Verstappen, their DRS are on. Gasly is falling a bit behind. Ocon goes and takes the inside line, gets almost a good car's length past him. But on the switchback, Bottas is able to keep this position just for a tiny bit. Will be able to, yes, he will get to keep his position. But now, the question is, will he still be? I feel like Ocon will be able to overtake Bottas in the back straight. But the better question is, can Verstappen, overtake Bottas as well? But from the looks of this, he won't be. This is what's hard in like a multi-car battle. It's that you usually see the first two cars duking it out, while being the third or fourth car, it's hard to overtake or place your car differently, because you place your car wrong, you'll lose the front wing. And from that, it kind of looks weird, but like the front wing, there's a slight area where the front wing of that Alfa Romeo is, instead of being like parallel to the ground, it's a bit off to the side. But it might be just like the angle we're viewing it from, because I don't think it's gonna be, they would have something like that. I feel like it's either it's perpendicularly standing or it's off. But while we're watching them, we see Verstappen sniffing on the gearbox of Bottas. Bottas just keeping it close to Ocon, and we'll see if Bottas can make another move on the back straight. And from the look, and I feel like it's just gonna be another Bottas overtake. Or not. Ocon is kind of gapping really farther, and Bottas is just keeping up with that DRS. And as we let's kind of check up here. Oh, okay, we have Hamilton pit, we have Russell and Leclerc, we have Ocon, Bottas, Verstappen, Alonso are all pitting right now. And you see, a lot of the field is already pitting, and those are the soft runners going into mediums, most likely. Maybe some might go into hards. We've seen the weird AI strat, but here we are on medium tires, able to keep a 3.2 second gap. Well, not really keep. It's thanks to Leclerc and Hamilton duking it out for fourth position that allowed us to build a gap, but I feel like we're gonna end up in third, trying to keep this position, because our car's not really liking this track. But I feel like we're about to pit either at the end of this lap or next lap, as I don't feel like doing 10 laps in softs is a good idea, because doing 10 laps already in these medium tires are already hard enough for us to keep the car. I mean, it's not that hard. It's already starting to become harder to keep the car on the track, and we see Perez jump into the pits while we still stay out and see if we can actually maybe catch up to Sainz. If Sainz is also on the medium tire, but we're kind of going long, trying to see how we can keep up this position. And we're back at the end of lap 12. We see Sainz pit, so we follow him and pit ourselves. As we see Perez just 11 seconds behind, so is Hamilton. Hamilton 15 seconds behind us. And that was a smooth. I was kind of hoping maybe we would have delayed Sainz for a bit while we were going in, but we didn't. And that was smooth exit. But as we're exiting the pit lane, we fall back down to fourth. We fall 3 seconds behind Hamilton. Was it a mistake of maybe trying to get on these softs to go for like the last 7 laps of this race? I feel like that was a mistake for us. We should have just pitted on lap 10 or maybe lap 11 for hards, because I feel like it wasn't worth the time lost trying to get, extending those mediums and getting those softs. And as we head into this, we have our DRS on. We go on the inside against the hards. Ooh, gotta get a squeeze a bit. And we finish off the move. We overtake Leclerc and keep the position. Leclerc being on those hards, we just have slightly better grip, especially now that the tires are a bit warmed up after going through 2/3 of the track. Now, Leclerc is catching up to us. He has DRS. We let him pass. We're not even fighting this. This is just too long of a straight to even pass. But now the good thing is, we are now going to have DRS on the front straight, no matter how short this straight is. And you just see how slow we are. And then as we go through these series of corners, we kind of get close, and then here we go, the long right-hander where we can't even press on the gas that much. But we are able, but with the grip of the soft tires, it just feels so much better than the mediums. But that's the only reason why we're able to just keep up with Leclerc. And it's because he's on the hard, so we're on the softs, and all we could do now is just maybe, I feel like Leclerc is on the faster tire. We are not taking the shortest line possible on this DRS sector, but I feel like we're just gonna stay behind Leclerc as much as we can, and then let Leclerc pull us towards the front runners. But I feel like that will be a tall order for Leclerc because he is on hards, but I feel like it might be even better for us. But I feel like since we do have the DRS and on this long straight, let's just use the DRS, overtake Leclerc, and then once we do, whenever Leclerc is faster than us, we're just gonna wave him by, so we are not basically, squabbling for fourth and then make a bigger gap, except we kind of work as a somewhat of a pseudo team of like, okay, you're gonna overtake me regardless on the straight because you have DRS. Here you go. Go right ahead. I will get the DRS. I will get the position back on the next DRS straight. As I basically just have more top speed than you do on the DRS straight. So with that, I feel like that's gonna be like a 200 IQ play that we're gonna do right now to basically slingshot each other for each DRS straight. and just so like we could, help. We could basically help each other. Well, except I guess in this part where we kind of do have a better straight line speed, and we did have a better gap, so we kept the place. We didn't let Leclerc slingshot through, but here we're gonna let him slingshot through as we try to catch the front runners, because now we are 2.5 seconds closer. We basically caught up a tenth, 5 tenths towards the front runners. But here, Leclerc seems to be slowing down. I was really expecting him to be passing us on the back straight, but he wasn't. Now we are 2 seconds. We're 2 seconds in. I feel like the mediums that the front runners put on, well, except for Sainz spit for softs, but like Hamilton is starting to fall back a bit because he did pit on lap 10, or at least the end of lap 9 at the start of lap 10. So now he has 6 lap old tires, and we have 4 lap old tires, soft tires. So technically we still have, we saw Albon DNF. Oh my god, let's go back to that. So here we go, Albon on last few corners into this lap, and he's doing pretty well, and then you just see him take the inside line and slows down, and you don't see it. There you go, there goes the smoke, there goes the pop of smoke. There is another Mercedes engine failure. That makes it 4 races in a row where you have a Mercedes engine DNF. That is very, very unfortunate, as we're just, I feel like we made the wrong decision, because I haven't seen Ferrari engine failures. I feel like we only had one in the span of these 4 races, while we have had a Mercedes engine fail the first 4 races. I feel like we made the wrong decisions with sticking with not sticking, but choosing Mercedes, because we went in this session trying to get the most reliable engine, and which has been, in my opinion, Mercedes. But in this save of our MyTeam, it's just the complete opposite. And we are back on lap 18. I didn't realize that the safety car actually came out because of Albon's DNF. I honestly thought that the race would end under a safety car, but no. The safety car comes in here at the end of lap 18, and we will start racing on the penultimate lap. Now, this might be a blessing in disguise for us, because this bunches up the field. This allows us to basically attack Hamilton right now. And as we go dive on the inside with a bit of contact with the Ferrari, and we get 2nd place. Oh my, that was an ambitious. We sent it, because we're like, it's the penultimate lap. It's our home race. Might as well put on a show for the home crowd, and hopefully, get a better result than just 3rd. I don't feel like we're not gonna get the win in this, because look, Perez is already like a second plus ahead of us, and our car just has a better straight line, has just better top speed than the RB. That's why we're catching up. But other than that, once we get to through these corners, we're gonna lose all that time. We did catch up a lot here, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to do this, but we have to give it a shot, though. where we are dumping all of our ERS. So we are headed into the straight. We kind of go dive deep. We overbrake ourselves, and that gives Perez the chance to overtake us once again, and he does keep the position as we head into the final lap. We use some ERS, and we take the inside line, kind of squeeze Perez a bit, but Perez has the inside line going into that straight. Oh, Perez takes a bit of curb, and we have some wheel banging going on, and we hold on into first. But now we take the inside line because we learned our lesson from Hamilton, and we cover the inside for that corner. We go a bit wide here into this double left-hander, and now, since we have the better straight line speed, we are now 4/10 ahead. We are now dumping more ERS, but we are saving them for the back straight as Perez goes outside, and we give him a little space. He backs off. We get inside. We almost hit the wall with a slight bit of oversteer there, and we are now in the home stretch, 5/10, 6/10 ahead of Perez into the back straight. Now we're gonna dump as much ERS as we can, because we know that once this Red Bull gets any closer, we are done for. And we see Perez getting really close, 3/10, 2/10, and as we go into this last few corners, we keep the gap, and we will collect the checkered flag and win our home race here in Miami. That was an insane race. I would have never thought it would be possible to win this race, because we started third. The car didn't feel really good. We were kind of, we just didn't have the downforce for this track required.
Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
The bold move to dive right after the safety car goes in, picking up the second, catching up Perez, tussling with Perez, and we eventually get P1 and get the win. Holy shit, I wouldn't even have expected we would be winning this race. Winning this race was on the back of, I never even thought about winning this race, because it just felt so impossible. It wasn't even, during the race I was already thinking, this is not possible. But that late safety car, a couple of bold moves, and a couple of bold moves that paid off, and we won the race. Man, that was insane. But thank you guys for watching episode 4 of F1 My Team. If you guys did enjoy this episode, please like, subscribe, comment below your thoughts of this race, and if you guys thought it was winnable, let me know down in the comments. Other than that, thank you guys once again, and this is Spaniel 12 signing out.